fans to see where we'll be playing on. So, will we have a fourth clubhouse, Devin?
Let's hope not. Please, no fourth clubhouse.
And
well, at least theme park wasn't banned first,
Coastline.
but there we go. Clubhouse banned by Singularity. Thank you. So yeah, Coastline is a map teams generally don't want to play too often, and Singularity being the one team that does want to play it more so than Black Dragon says yet to play it, and they had last ban, so Singularity did. So it makes sense that they would pick Coastline over Border. They are technically favored on that map, but at the same time, it means Singularity don't necessarily know what Black Dragon's going to be bringing to Coastline, so could be some surprises there, especially in the ban phase.
So, what do people at home think about this? That's my question now. Black Dragon Singularity. Is it going to be Black Dragon's favorite? I think so. Ooh, tight. 46-41. Even considering the fact that Black Dragons lost at 7-0 against MIBR. But again, both teams are in their position for a reason. So, up in the air? Probably.
I mean, I definitely think Singularity probably should be favored here, especially knowing the map. But at the same time, you don't know the map before you vote on this, so that always kind of factors in a little bit. But Singularity are technically the better team right now as well, so see if they can keep that up. Black Dragons, we know they've got the potential. They've just been struggling a bit. Same with Team 1, where they're just kind of a team that can definitely be doing better, just isn't. So maybe this final day they'll show up. It doesn't matter too much here. However, let's see if they can move in place or not. If they can, so it depends on who has the tiebreaker, I suppose, because Black Dragons could
6-6
tie.
right now. They're tied 6-6, so this game matters.
So, yeah,
if
definitely.
Black Dragons wins,
then they'll have the tiebreaker and they can move ahead and get a slightly bigger prize.
Exactly.
So, yeah, there you go.
It's $2,000. That's what it is.
Thank you for this. So, yeah, Black Dragons could tie at 15, and if they win this, then they have the tiebreaker on it as well. So they will then be above and just below INTZ. So definitely does mean prize money. Of course, Singularity just have to defend their spot. If they can draw, that's enough to make it happen to keep their spot. So you just have to get to 6 points, and they'll be fine. Easier said than done, of course. But that's the goal. Everyone's ready, so just a moment before we jump into game.
Yeah, we could head in at any point in time here.
And here we go.
It's all about a victory for Black Dragons. That's the only way that they can survive and get the extra cash.
Well, they're certainly going to want it. And maybe more than Ninja's Pajamas seem to. What bans will we have, though? This is a map that doesn't require hard breacher so much, although you can benefit from Hibana, so it does occasionally get banned. What will it be, though? Definitely lots of options on this map for bans. I do see Nomad ban fairly often as well. Dokkaebi, also a good ban. This is definitely a map that Dokkaebi does really well on. Second ban.
Jackal.
Alright. Nope. Capitao.
Capitao. Still a good operator.
Yeah. I think he's a good op on every map, though, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough to say. One
Probably
more.
the usual suspects for defense. Nope, my Valk is a pretty common ban on this map as well, though. This and Consulate.
Yeah, true.
This is going to be Mirror Echo, very likely here. Most likely Mirror to stop any kind of penthouse play. There it is. So, not likely to see professionally. And where will we start? Probably Hookah, but some teams have been willing to start Kitchen. No, Bar, alright. Keeping it interesting for us. We'll start with an Echo and a Pulse, although potentially one of those could get 6 picked off. There's the Pulse 6 picked off to get that Mute in there. Some Mute Mozzie combo coming out. Should slow things down a little bit. The IQ should be able to spot those as well as the Echo drone, though. So that will help. They also will have the Nomad to stop those rotations. So even if they can't necessarily push the roamers out right away, whatever map control they do get, they might be able to keep thanks to the air jabs. There will be only one set of grenades. So Plenty soft breach, though, of course, because you've got the Buck, Zofia, and the Ash, but still.
Look at that. You're running with like 3 sets of barbed wire. In this economy? Are you sure about that?
And this economy?
Honestly, who runs barbed wire anymore?
With inflation on the rise?
It's not worth it, man. The hitboxes are bigger. They're nowhere near as good as they used to be. It's just, I don't know.
Especially when you can bring a shield on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Smoke? Oh, go for it.
And Echo. So I think that probably would have been better, especially considering this site. Like, there's definitely spots you could be playing that shield. But I don't know. They have a plan, obviously. See how it goes down. At least the Echo's not running the Supernova, so that's a good start. Looks like they are going to go for an office entry. Pretty typical to take office here for when you're pushing for bar. They need to take care of this Mozzie, though. This is a pretty common spot to be playing behind. A lot of times it's the Pulse who will play back there, or a Jaeger. A lot of times the Jaeger as well will help flank from security office.
There it is.
Which, there it is. Yep, that's pretty common to make sure that they can't get flanked inside the office itself. Push usually doesn't come from blue bar, which is, of course, I believe where the smoke is playing right now. So good teamwork here. They're really setting up a nice tight net between the Mozzie, the Echo, and the Mute.
Oh my, Kitty has
I mean,
great shot there.
Nice.
Stuns or no stuns, Wog does something. He gets a kill, but you lost an Ash, you lost a Zofia, traded off for the Mozzie. It's still fine for the defenders, and they still have the Jaeger in control of the top floor, so you can come down from Aqua at any point in time.
Yeah. So, air jabs going up, try and stop any kind of retake of the office side, as they want to be able to push into blue bar potentially. PZD not really doing a great job controlling lobby just yet, though. With such a low man count, it's not going to happen, and there you go, PZD falls to souls. So, great job with that MP5. And then Hunter, perfect position there. Could have done with possibly the shotgun as well. All down to Lagonis. Probably not going to happen, let's be honest. At least he's got an ACOG, but it's only going to help so much as his position's known as he took shots. He's getting shot on and Rise there to finish the job. Was that a team ace? Did everyone get a kill at that point?
And I really want to ask this. This is the last game we'll have in Pro League as we know it today. Next time you see PL, it will be different. But I want to ask the chat room if they actually learned something throughout the past few years of us watching Coastline. Chat room, please repeat with me. And this is very much class in session. I know everybody's been sitting back on their Zoom classes, but in here, it's very clear. You're attacking the double bars, so it's a site on the ground floor. What do? Go up and take from the top floor.
Take from the sky.
Exactly.
Fell into the roof from the helicopter.
Hey.
Remember when that was going to be the thing on the original house demo?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That was going to be pretty hot.
Yeah, and I'd imagine that in the beginning it would be amazing, and then 100 times after seeing that, you're like, just please, can I just get over this?
Yeah, can I just spawn at the APC again?
Yeah. So here it is. Who knows what happens in their next house? Maybe you'll be dropping down from an AC-130. It happens in other video games, so who knows? The Rainbow Bus. But yes, defense downstairs, attack upstairs. Simple as that. Attack upstairs, defense upstairs, attack downstairs. Go there. You have a Zofia, you have an Ash, you have a Buck. You got everything in your back pocket as a Black Dragons to answer what Singularity are putting in front of you. And there's the shield, 2 of them even brought out. Singularity double down. No need for barbed wire on this one. So there's drones being set up in the entry. There's somebody pushing in through bathroom. There's a player in the hallway. There's a Jaeger spotted. Man, seasonal skins are absolutely amazing, aren't they? Still, rushing the drone into the Jaeger might not be the best and smartest of ideas. They were losing a drone for free. But, fair enough. Another angle being set up here for rotation. Katie's taking a lot of damage in the meantime, and it might be pulled back. There it is, the Ash for the finisher. Well done by Horda Tau, and Landa's trying to fight inside of theater, but finally lost thanks to PCD. The wall left soft. Big problem here.
Yeah.
3 players in Singularity left.
Definitely much better attack this time. They're able to eliminate a lot of those players on that roam. And not really end up in a bunch of unfavorable fights downstairs. So of course, the bomb site is top floor, so they're actually attacking top floor this time, which definitely helps. But good overall flank on the penthouse theater area. That's what they needed. Could use the soft destruction as well. I mean, Wag took a bit of damage for it, and he's still going to be necessary to help spot the yokai very likely, but definitely much better result for the attack, especially taking out the Vigil. Now you don't have to hunt him or the drones. And the Jaeger, of course, always want to take out, especially Lenda being top fragger on the team. But you do have Hunter here playing behind the shield. He's, of course, going to be using the Wise, as you hear one going off right now. A lot of flashbangs being thrown to try and clear those. And, of course, you can only throw them out so fast. So, fortunately, the splash doesn't do enough to destroy the shield, but it does do a lot of damage to Hunter, which was the idea. Doubtfully, I doubt he has the hatch open, so he's going to just get picked off by Hugzord. Looking again, very good on this attack now. Just 2 players left. The Smoke and the Echo, 2 delay operators, but they've got to focus on fighting 5 players with guns out. So, looking very likely to be a Black Dragon's round this time.
Oh, great plant there. No yokais to use, unfortunate. You're watching all these angles, all the setup that you've made with shields, and all the complications of magnets. Well, they're gone. They're not going to do you much there. Cornetown will find the last one. Souls, they just trades around with him. And we're going to see this from Hugzor's POV. No, not even going to see anything. It's just over. Black Dragons, as you say, will secure the round on what is considered the most flexible site for the defense, but clearing out 2 players early on in that bedroom area was it's a big boon for you as the attacking team.
Yeah, and it was 2 important players as well, strong fragging players. But also, they attacked from the top floor properly. Of course, like I said, the bomb site was up there, but I want to see them do that again this round. Like you said, they should have been doing that the very first round, focusing too much on office, cost them when they could have instead actually just taken above in Aqua, opened up the floor, and started to pressure down. But they decided not to go that direction, so we'll see for the kitchen attack. Well, they really need to do this. They need to take over that penthouse and theater again to take VIP, and then from there start to pressure downwards. Same lineup coming out from Singularity though, but they'll obviously be playing a different bomb site. Again, only 1 shield though. Even though Wamai not bringing a shield, he's bringing barbed wire instead. That just doesn't seem like a great idea. Just overall, the value you get out of shields right now. I mean, maybe it'll work, but again, barbed wire is it's not that great in comparison.
I really have an update for everybody at home. So Ion did not play in the last matchup with FaZe, and we thought it was just a personal reason, but he explained things on social media, and I really want to already present my commiserations to Ion, and I really hope that everybody will go and tweet at him and tell him how much we love him. But apparently his father passed away last week, which is why he didn't play today. Apparently his last action was to watch his game in Pro League, and unfortunately that was it. It's a shame. Wow. It's heartbreaking, but Ion, we're all with you. Thanks so much for being such an amazing player, and again, your dad fathered a champion.
Well, I'm glad to see FaZe was able to win in his honor. Then, obviously, That's definitely a very solid reason to not have been playing. And I'm glad Snarfax was able to not only fill in for him, but help with the win. So, again, commiserations to Ion. And I hope now that he has a little bit of break with the season over, that will help him be able to move through the grieving process. Well, we'll have PZD take down Souls, though. That's the Echo down early. They also lost their Wamai. 2 great delaying operators down already. Maybe they should have brought those shields after all instead of barbed wire on those 2. But Hornets now going to find a 3rd. This is Singularity. After a strong start in round 1, just getting decimated on their roams. The roams just really not working out now. And this is actually more of a horizontal attack this time, not working out instead. So, seems like their inability to kind of escape the pressure of Black Dragons after that first maybe warm-up round for them. I wonder how things will switch though when side switches. Technically, this is an attack-favored map. But you never know.
He's going to get 1 kill, maybe start the ball rolling here for Singularity. Black Dragons might be pushing it from the same position altogether. Do they know about the Jaeger's position? Usually the attackers have control over that lobby area, then it's a big boon for them. SMG-11 around the corner. Shotgun being pulled out, but it's too long of a range, and PZD will find the kill. Lenda still has 4 more to go through and a potential ace to win the round. Finds the headshot. Great play there on a walk. Diffuser, though, being planted, and there's one attacker sitting right next to the bomb chassis. Hornetau cleans up the round. It's Black Dragon's advantage now, 2-1. Kitchen not working out. Again, they're spreading too far here. Black Dragons are just finding the solution. There you go. Billie Jean is not his lover, and he just skated around the map as Yash.
A bit more beat it there, I'll have to say. So, I got to imagine Black Dragon's communication and droning is on point, and that's what Singularity needs to disrupt. They are bringing Mozzie and Mute again. Maybe they need the Vigil. It's just, they really need to be able to avoid these. They need to play for better trades as well. We saw a better setup for that on that first defense here of Bar, where we had the Mozzie playing inside of Office, and the Jaeger was set up to be able to potentially trade that by playing over in Security. They're probably going to play something similar again. I would like to see actually Yokai Drone hanging out on the other side of that Office, like, pillar, or whatever you want to call it, the wall, to be able to spot for the Mozzie, if possible. Just to give that extra bit of intel. Obviously, the Valkyrie's banned, so you're not going to get those kind of cams. And they're not playing with Maestro. And maybe that's a big problem for them here. Maestro's not banned, and they're not playing with Maestro. And I only said that because Maestro is just such a strong operator. Like, it doesn't matter what site are set up. You can get a lot of value out of that Alda and those cameras. Obviously, you know, some sites benefit him more than others, but he's almost always good. So, I think the Echo being played here isn't quite paying off as much as I think a Maestro would be, just because they're not really getting to situations where the Yokai's benefiting them that much, unless we're just not seeing it being used on Rome Sport like he's trying to. It's hard to say, but I do think the Maestro would possibly be a better choice.
I definitely agree in this case. So your bans again are Valkyrie and Mira. So those are the two operators you won't be seeing in this matchup. And Lenda, he's on a revenge tour right now. Hornetau has been shot down early. He's trying to push into CCTV as Black Dragons realize, like, hey, there's always somebody playing in the office CCTV, which is always the case. It's kind of a well-known strategy. So well done there to shut down Hornetau. Black Dragons recognized their potential advantage, but unfortunately lost it. And just going for the stare contest here. The flashbang around the corner is going to push the Jaeger back. But is there a drone to confirm the location? It's not just about throwing utility in or pressuring. You need something visual. He's holding on to the angle. Oh, Lagonis, that's visual. That's one. But Souls hits PZD and takes him down. He's dropped very low on HP, but Singularity have an advantage.
That's the thing, of course, is you killed two strong fragging operators. And trading up for the Echo, okay, that's okay then, as long as he can do that. But he hasn't died yet, so he could still possibly even get a third kill here. Mozzie's still alive as well in Office. He's starting to get pressure pretty heavy, though. Finally, Hugzord will find him. But it's cost them half the round to get that one kill. And as long as Souls can stay alive, he can use that Yokai if he can stay relatively safe. Hunter as well trying to just hold a secure position here. Even looking for a possibility to use the smoke through the walls or through the drone hole. But he's just going to use that to bail back inside to Sunrise to at least have the one shield here for the Mute to be able to play on the doorway. We often see some good shotgun play on that doorway as well, but he's got the SMG-11 out at the moment. The Echo playing pretty far from sight and surprisingly surviving this realm. Again, the bar attack seems to be probably the worst coming out from Black Dragons. They've had way more success on their other attacks. This is the take they really need to work on the most. Even if they win this round, it's still definitely not their best take.
Smoke comes out. They're just slowing things down here. Unfortunately, the timing on the smoke is ineffective. You look to throw out the first one around the 28-second mark. 30 seconds. But you're just burning off the utility here because you just need to survive. Rise running Nitro, but Soul's a great headshot as Hugzord finally takes down the Echo. I don't know if those Yokais were rotated. Oh, it doesn't matter. A shotgun to the face is going to dispatch Hugzord so quickly. I don't know how that Texan accent came out. Dispatch him. Wag walking down the hallway. He'll find one kill. He knows there's one inside a blue bar. He's got to face a shotgun. Can't even do it. One more shot will be more than enough, and Hunter gets it. John Gotti in here as Hunter. We'll get the round for Singularity. Man, surviving 3 shotgun shells. All you got to do is believe in the M590, and it works for you.
Definitely, and Singularity once again defending bar. It seems to be the only thing they can do successfully, so I would hope they can figure out how to defend hookah here. It seems like Black Dragons were able to really section off a lot of the roamers last time on this attack, and that was the big problem for them. So maybe if they can play a little bit smarter on their roam, or at least make sure they have good fallbacks and are ready for those, maybe it'll work a little bit better. I don't think it was necessarily like the Nomad or something cutting them off so much last time. It was just good isolation and pinches coming out. So they got to be better prepared for that. They've got to play maybe closer to those Mozzie pests. There's no mute jammer this time, which probably would have benefited them. It's definitely helping them downstairs. Again with the Echo, though, I still don't think it's the best, but at least Souls was able to do some work with it last round. This is definitely a site that really benefits Maestro, so not bringing here, a little bit of a mistake in my opinion, because they're not even bringing a bulletproof camera. The reason I mention that is the benefit you can get from being able to possibly see through smoke on the hookah, the billiard side. But I guess on the flip side of that, no smoke is being brought from Black Dragons. But it's still nice to be able to see through quite a bit with the, you can stick for example, a Maestro cam underneath the pool table itself.
Yeah, I like that.
Be able to see quite a bit there.
There's been some teams that have even been setting up Evil Eyes all the way in the back of hookah, actually. Okay. It's a long angle down, but okay, sure enough, Linda's going to walk out, get one kill on the Ash, and then just barricade it again. That's just, ugh.
Hello.
Look at Tomb Raider. Lara Croft is not going to be raiding anything. She's just stuck in this position here. Somebody get her a drink just sitting outside by the pool. Miss Croft. Would you like a martini?
Shaken and stirred. Well, that will definitely help things here, because an early pick on a bomb site where they tend to get pinched means less likely of getting pinched, because of course in order to pinch roamers you're going to need some kind of man advantage, or at least enough of men close by to set up for at the very least a trade. Now they're stuck in a little bit less manpower, a little bit less aggressive entry as well. I mean, they could rotate one of the other players over to kind of taking up Horntail's role, but in doing so, that means something else won't get done. They don't have as big a checklist on this map, of course, because you don't have to worry as much about hard breach, but it does help to have Habana to open up the wall onto the little cocktail area, and despite it not being banned, they're not bothering with that. Hunter, though, second kill around here onto Hugzord. That's again going to help. Another soft breach down, and no damage done to Singularity. As I say that, of course, then KDS dies.
Oh my god, PCD, what a shot! Great plays there from the Buck to find KDS, but at what cost is always the question, Devin. You lost an Ash, you lost Sofia, and the Buck can do work from below, but...
I mean, this is 4 loss, but overall, yeah, I'd say Defender's still at a pretty huge advantage here.
Well, Nomad peeking real quick around the corner. The Buck pressuring from below. And the plant's coming down. No, there it is. Dropping the Nomad down. There's the finisher. Well done by Rise. Totally worth it there. Losing one player. It's Hunter, but the grenade from PZD hits great. This is why you always pressure from below. Well, go find Lenda as he went for a late flank and Soul's the last alive. Take a look at the Echo here. If he has any of those yokais to use, those would be great. But look at this shield. And what an effective shield it can be. They spot him. He's actually going to push out into billiards. And I'm not sure about this play here. He's looking the wrong way. No, PZD swings into him. Souls makes the mistake, and he's punished for it immediately by PZD.
Great round for PZD in general. And again, a round that should be winnable by Singularity. Once again lost on just individual players getting picked off. And Black Dragons, the fact that they can win everywhere but bar is certainly enough to give them an advantage here. Because, of course, defenders can't just keep choosing bar. So they're going to be forced off of it for the last round again. And that gives an advantage here. If Black Dragons can keep it up, that brings them to a 4-2 situation going into the half. It's not too shabby, especially if they can win more than one site. See, Hookah tried one more time, though. It'll work this time. But I don't know. After the last round, I'm starting to lose confidence in Segureli's defenses of anywhere but bar. They're not really changing anything up on their lineup either. Well, neither is the attackers. They haven't really needed to either. As long as Hornet's out doesn't die due to his spawn kill. Black Dragon's looking pretty good though, so far. Again, like I said, this is a little bit of attacker-sided of a map. Not drastically, and that has shifted over time. Defenders have so much good utility now that while things can still be leaning attacker-sided, the defender utility does tend to balance that out a lot more. So, it is a little bit more balanced than it used to in that sense. See KDS kind of hanging out alone in Penthouse. That's a recipe for disaster. She can't get a spawn peek or something going here. See if Hornetow falls for a second one. Linda also hoping for a run out, possibly.
Yeah, he's just going to be pushed back for just a second. His attackers really want to take control of that lobby. I mean, we've seen the amount of work that you can do, but just genuinely just holding lobby and looking all the way down to double bars. It really shuts down rotation super easily. Coming down from blue, coming down from that top floor. It really is a great position to hold when you can, but you don't want to dedicate too much utility and manpower to it. Will there be a run out here on PZD is the question. Look at these bullet holes being set up by KDS. A lot of drones being ferried through, and Lenda gets the kill, not even requiring the run out, and can look all the way down into Hall of Fame. They shut down one in KDS.
Wow.
You can find the second. Oh, Lendo, what a shot. That's what's required, man. He's all on his own. He's literally doing the same thing every round. If we could find a third one here, that would be huge. So Zofia walking back, and she's going to be found. Lenda on a Hogsword. 3K for Lenda. He knows there's one player still inside of... Oh, he's going to run away. Wag, though, keeps on spraying, and he gets the headshot. Lenda dispatched, but it would cost, again, a 3v2.
I still feel like the way Black Dragons have been playing, though, they're likely to be able to bring this back. They've still got drones left alive. They're getting the intel, finding out where the last positions of these players are. Now, they don't have a ton of utility to work with, but they still have good guns. It's both strong operators to be able to frag out. But they've got to worry about a fair amount of utility in terms of smoke and yokais to deal with. But at least WAG can spot the yokais, so they're not completely out of that. Wamai doing a good job of pulling that flashbang away there. Possibly also blinding Lagunas. I'm not sure if we saw whether or not he got blinded by his own. Nope, he did not get blinded by his own. But WAG trying to help with the flank. Very low on health here. He's going to lose this gunfight. It's all now down to Lagunas, who falls, and finally Singularity can win another bomb site. Good use of the Wamai there, especially at the end, to try and keep the shields alive. Nice stacked up double shields as well. Good use of those to be able to fight from multiple angles and transition between the two. And now we switch sides.
So, a 3v3. You switch the sides, and a tie is a potential, but remember, the only way for Black Dragons to gain the extra $2,000 for their team is by getting a W. So they have to win at least 7-5. Otherwise, a tie is not going to work. And obviously, not a loss.
We'll see the Goyo brought out along with the Pulse, so a little bit different coming out from Black Dragons on their defense, and they're going to start on Hookah rather than Bar. Thatcher 6-pick 2 instead of the Zofia from Singularity, despite how strong Zofia generally is, but they're going to feel like they need the Thatcher, so I suppose that's one way to handle it, but I can understand that, possibly considering they really want to get the wall open. I mean, the only reason to bring the Habana is to get walls and angles open. There are some other angles as well, but generally it's all about that wall on Cocktail by A bomb site. And if you have the Thatcher, you can make sure that that gets cleared of those mute jammers that are likely to probably be put there. And then once you can do that, easy open, and then that starts to put a lot of pressure on usually the smoke player. In this case, there is no smoke player, but you could see a pulse there potentially, for example, or the mute with the C4 ready to go. Again, though, not bringing a C4 on Goyo. Just, I don't know, sometimes these lack of C4s are just like, what?
I haven't been seeing too much of the Commando. It's been a lot of G8s recently. A mix of, the two as well.
Well, yeah.
You couldn't
only see the
run.
commando generally on Mozzie.
Yes, I guess the SMG, correct. But still, on this site, take control of the bottom floor. We've seen it so many times now. Ooh, sneaking around. You little Dickens. KDS should be able to spot the Mozzie. There it is. No drone for you, and they know this is going to be playing inside a kitchen. Another drone to be lost. You got to be... Oh my god, how many did they lose? Good lord, they only have 2 left. Devin. In under a minute, Singularity lost all but 2 of their drones. This huge Hornetau just now shot down Hunter. And they're only left with 1. Souls gets 1, but PZD has already found KDS. You trade off the Jaeger for that Ash and the AQ. And it's kind of okay. Still, oh, big tosses there as PZD will take down Souls again. The Mozzie's so difficult to clear off inside a kitchen. Now the attackers are in control of security, but how much is it going to even matter? Wall soft all around. There's a ton of bullet holes. You don't know which one to use.
You can play from below.
Yeah, there you go. You know that there's somebody behind there. And the Mozzie's just playing you. So well done here from Black Dragons. Wasting time. Hornetau with 1 more. And Rise on his own. Not even using a bit of utility. Hornetau drops down and finds the last kill. And it's all over. Black Dragons. They got it so well. He's playing out in the open. Even if you control lobby, this is the man that's going to bash into you. SMG or shotgun in hand.
Well, good round for Black Dragons, and overall a very solid defense. Just Singularity's early aggressions getting punished very often. They weren't set up in the same sort of pinches and flanks and trades the way we saw from Black Dragon's attack, and it was kind of the opposite situation where Singularity the one getting pinched out, similar to the way they were getting pinched out on defense. So it's kind of funny to see that reflected in their attacks as well. I would hope they would get a little more coordinated here, but with how back and forth it's been, definitely some possibility to see more of that. Kitchen going to be the bomb site now, so I would hope they would take from the top down this time. That horizontal attack down below definitely did not work out too great for them last round on their attacks, so we'll see. We are going to have the Pulse and the Goyo again. This time, though, the Goyo bringing a C4. Happy to see that.
Bomb located by attackers.
A few rounds away here, and Pro League, as we know it, will be over. Who would have thought? 2020 holds many things in its future, and hopefully we'll all be safe in that time, so make sure you take care of yourself. So maybe we'll all be healthy and safe next time Pro League is back, so we can all watch it and enjoy it together. That's what matters. Kitchen defense and not so much utility from Black Dragons on this top floor. That's not something you see too much of, but it definitely makes a lot of sense. Sometimes the teams extend more into hookah, sometimes they extend more into penthouse, sometimes they extend more into double bars. All viable solutions. I don't think there's one that's really better than the other. It really just depends on how well you know the other teams. A good way to set that pass there. I really like it from WAG. It makes it a bit more difficult to evade the pass, which is already so complicated.
Well, again, drones being lost early. Not too many, though. Just about 3 so far, but that would definitely cost them a lot last round. Got to be a little more careful with those. There's the Mute Mozzie combo, of course, does make it a little harder. And Pulse being able to help spot where the attack's coming from certainly makes it a little bit easier, but luckily for as Singularity, Pulse doesn't spot drones' heartbeats as they don't have one, so there's that, I guess.
And a reminder that this matchup can be a tie, as with all best of ones here in PL. You need 7 rounds in total to win. But if you're tied at 6-6 because it's a maximum of 12 rounds, then that's a tie. You only get 1 point. No 3. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Europeans and Brazilians should probably be able to understand the concept of sports. There's Lunda with 1 kill on the Hornetau. A good start here from the Sledge that takes control of Cool Vibe Stairs. Huxor taking a bit of damage. It's a good position now from Hunter, but Singularity have lost a ton of drones and there's only 1 left. You can check it in the overlay common theme here for Singularity. They'll have to peek. And right in the face, PZD to find the kill. This is not how you're supposed to do it. This is how Black Dragons recover off of the mistakes of Singularity. They get a kill or two in the early game, and then you lose all the drones, and then you have no info, and you have to face check everything. Your utility is worth nothing at that point.
I mean, the first half of this round was doing pretty balanced for both teams, but man, has it really gone downhill for Singularity. Linda almost dead as well here. Good pre-fire coming up from PZD. That's diffuser drop though from Rise. It's a pretty big deal. Now the diffuser's trapped. Soul's not in a great position to be able to recover it, and he's already set off the car alarm, so police will be on their way shortly, I'm sure. Linda does go for a nice flank though, so there is that. He does have 2 grenades left in pocket. There is a Jaeger, so likely those might be stopped, but it doesn't matter. Bullets to the face will do just as well. Lagonis finds the second one. Worst gun in the game, doesn't matter. He's able to get 2 with it. Nicely done. And Black Dragons secure their lead.
So, one more round. They'll be on the tie. I'll give them some more flexibility.
They're definitely looking for that extra money here.
Once you hit 7, then you win the game, of course, and that's $2,000 extra.
Let's see how close they can get. They're going to go for their bar defense, though. So far they've won 2 of their bomb sites. They're going to their 3rd. We're unlikely to see Penthouse the 4th, but this might be their weakness, or maybe SNG can get around back. But so far their attacks have just been relatively sloppy. The roams, especially from Black Dragons, have been very effective. A lot of their players are able to individually survive and get 1 or 2 kills each in a lot of these roams, and that's just, again, the total opposite of what we saw in the first half. So much better on Black Dragons in both their attacks and defenses, and of course why they're ahead 2 points, but just overall, wins aside, just much better teamwork and performance from Black Dragons on top of individual performance.
So, Black Dragons, what do you do in this one? Have the super shorties for it. No reason to bring the Echo with a supernova like we saw in the last game. I still don't understand why that was brought up, actually. Love the theory craft, but I think the theory is just not a good idea. So, already Singularity lost 2 drones here in the prep phase, which usually pro teams are losing maybe 1 drone in prep phase. You look at the games that we have amongst different regions, and that's usually the average is like 1 to 2 tops. More than that, it's just no bueno. You're losing drones for no reason in that case. And Singularity, as they've been doing here on the attacks, they get an early pick, and then 2 kills. They lose 2 players on their side, and then they have no drones. They have to face check.
Well, at least in this case, they've only lost 2 drones. So they're in a better position, but it's only 50 seconds in. Utility going in as well to try and open things up. So if they can just keep these drones alive, especially if they can hunt down PZD and take down the Pulse, that would definitely help them out. Things slowing down here in the next 2 minutes as now they've got some map control, mostly just a lot of outdoor angles. It's all about seeing if they can find any more picks.
That's not map control though, right?
Well, I mean, they've got control of some of those areas in that they're able to control them from the outside, but it's not really like, oh, you're inside able to set up for a plant or something kind of map control.
Is there anybody from the defense actually playing on the top floor? That's my question. I don't know if you can go into top down to check it out for a moment, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
One player, it's just Mozzie, and he's possibly going to be a sneaky play. Hunter is ready for it if he goes for a jump out. No, yep, there we go. Hunter is waiting, but he's looking at the wrong window. The jump out here could happen.
No. Wag is the one that can do so much damage. Singularity have lost all but 3 drones, and we're at the minute mark. They don't really know where their opponents are. They don't know if there's anybody on that top floor, and they're going to be losing all of their information very, very soon. Shotgun.
Yeah, BZD provides them real-time information the attackers just don't have.
Oh, he knows it. Wow, beautiful shot. He drops down. He gets 1. No. His soul is for the trade-in. As Kidius has already found. Yes. Hornetown, one on the Lenda, leaving 2 alive still from Singularity. They still have 1 more drone to use. Smoke canister is out. Soul's already found 1 Lagonis with the trade-off.
Attackers recovered.
They know that the diffuser is down on the floor, but do they know that there's 1 player coming in from that same angle? There we go. That audio cue is going to give all the information necessary.
Seconds remaining.
Gun is out in hand. No, Rise finds the headshot. Singularity win the gunfight. It's that Vitality skin that does it for you.
That's what does it. Well, Singularity, despite the lack of map control, a lot of fights thrown their way by Black Dragons, just maybe overplaying their hand a little bit with those jump outs. But at the end of the day, that's 1 round won on obviously the tertiary bomb site for Black Dragons, so not their best site. So they're very likely, if they can continue to repeat their earlier success, to win the next 2 rounds in a row and then take it to a 7-4, therefore winning and hopping ahead and getting the extra prize money. So all they've got to do is just do what they did earlier again and pick off players of Singularity, take out their drones early. Still feel like the Pulse was a good choice. I don't know if WAG needs to switch, but we'll see how it goes down. Echo could still also provide additional intel, a slightly different way the Pulse does. But again, a lot of it's denying the drones has really been helping, I think. And it was a little less so last round, but as soon as they finished denying all the drones, Black Dragons just started jumping out instead. That was probably not the play when you had the advantage intel-wise. So we'll see drones kind of left outside to an extent. They're not going to overextend them inside. You can see, for example, KDS is outside, Souls is outside. They're just setting those up to set up for entry positions. And they're going to need that Echo to, or the IQ to make sure they spot that Echo again. So they really want to make sure that they don't get stalled out last second, although we haven't really seen so much in the way of plant attempts.
Oh, Lenda walking through, realizing that there's the new jammer around the corner. And in the last round, Singularity did nothing to pressure the top floor, which boggles my mind. Again, my mind's being boggled all over the place this evening. And even still with that, they were still able to win that site take. But at least Black Dragons go to a site that they've been very successful on so far, and they're roaming downstairs. Hornetown taking down Hunter. And he's going to walk back up to the site. You can call the mute, in this case a roamer, but you will definitely want to call PZD on the Lassie a lurker. 2 different roles, very distinct. The lurker is, well, he does exactly what, is on the tin. He's delaying, he just sits back, peels away. You never know when he's going to strike against you. But he's going to be lurking somewhere through the round. There you go.
Nice capture with the Mozzie Pest.
2 more drones left here for Singularity. The pattern is working. Just looking down, maybe somebody comes in from the office, but... Oh, so close to hitting, but... Unfortunately, indestructible there in the wood. Yokai drone's going to fall off. It is set to help out the Mozzie in its position. Grenade being cooked. Is there an ADS? There should be. No, there isn't. Okay, Lenda gets the grenade off on the Hug Sword. The Mozzie's trying to follow up. PZD goes in for the shotgun for some reason, trying to escape. And he makes it out somehow.
Wow. And he's going to play the position they've been able to hold before the luggage doorway. Very difficult to fight that. Koyo shield goes off. That's going to slow down Rise a little bit. Yep. Got to find those yokais.
Lenda's going to get one more.
Whoa.
There's 2 drones left, and Rise already has them deployed. They're being played for rotations, probably. It's out of luggage. At least that's how I see it. Yokai drone's been spotted, but you need to destroy it, and the IQ is going to keep tabs on it. Wog's gonna still find the kill here somehow. And the denial. Yes, diffuser players are already down on the floor. No diffuser planted. This is the moment for the yokai to shine. Bring it back up. Deny that diffuser from being planted. The IQ is the one on the road. Oh no! Go ahead for it. Go for the kill. IQ, not Spot. Oh, there she is. Stop finally. But it's Black Dragons to win it out in the retake. Lagonis is already down, but big mistakes there from Singularity. Messing up the plant. The hat tabs on the yokai. You know it's there, but when the IQ is the one that forced the plant.
Yeah.
Even then, Wog didn't actually use it. He used his gun more than the actual yokai.
Really did, yeah. I mean, he probably could have gone for the shot there on the Echo, but didn't take it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They now have gotten to the tie. Need that one more point. If Singularity had been able to get 6 first, of course, they would have denied the chance of getting over top of them, but they still could. If they can get a tie here, they can lock in their spot. So they just got to get these next 2 rounds. But it could be the last round here. Kitchen. Now, we almost had a Maestro finally. Come on. Pulse has been a good choice though, so I'm not totally against that. Lagonis did pretty well on Kitchen last time, getting the 2 final kills here. Souls bringing out the Lion. Well, considering your drones aren't living much, having one up in orbit there, probably a good idea.
Two more potential rounds after this one. Get all in here, and Black Dragons move on in the standings and grab an extra $2,000. The Lion's got to come out. Singularity, just say, you know what? If we're losing drones all the time, might as well bring the next best thing. A global ability operator. And what a lot of people tend to forget is that Lion on his own is not, press 1 to or press 5 to win. But you still need drones on top of it to give you information on your opponents and be able to capitalize. It just makes it easier for you to confirm the information with those drones. The setup from Black Dragons is going to be very heavily favored on this top floor here instead of penthouse. You can extend it into lounge, into 90, all as well. Black Dragons have all the utility for it. And Lagonis, where is he going to be playing? That's my question. Curious to see where the pulse is going to be.
It's definitely important where he plays to make sure he can give maximum intel to his team. Just because the roams have been effective and the more information they have, the better. But Hornetow, first one to get a kill onto Hunter. So that's again an early Ash death. Lagonis might have provided some intel for that as well. You see him starting to peel off now. Even Wag trying to play some vertical pressure with that shorty.
Why not? It's a great secondary that might not be lasting for too long on the Mossy. Well, might as well use it as long as it's available. Yeah, honestly. Maybe, actually reworking the pest or making it, different than what it is now would have been the actual solution, but what do we know? Lion's going to be walking in. He's not going to be tapped in the face just yet. Rise pressuring from office. Maybe you can find somebody going in through that security area. G8 at least affords you a lot of firepower downrange. Going to be forcing that Jaeger back as Hugzord finally shot down by Souls, but Hornetow immediately trades off onto Lenda. Not sure if the Sledge was able to really do much grenade-wise, but there's the E1D played, the first one in the round, and it doesn't last anywhere near as much as it did in the past. Wog holds the angles. This is what you can do with that super shorty. Very short-sighted, I have to say, there from Singularity. Rise looking for somebody peeking through the lobby. He's not going to find anyone there. Souls is watching as well inside of the Sunrise Bar.
One drone left. That's it, besides the E1D itself. They're stacked up as well. They're going to get surrounded here. Lagonis is going to be able to call them out. It does take a little bit of damage, but he's going to know exactly where they're at. And this play from Wag actually fails, but it's traded by PZD. About to find a second, and there we go. Black Dragons leapfrogging over top of Singularity. Our big change of the day for Latin America, as we had teams defending their spots earlier. Singularity unable to do so on a map that was their preferred map. Black Dragons not showing anything before today, but now we see why they were allowing it through. It was a good map for them.
It worked out well in the end for Black Dragons. Team victorious, and I have to say, Wog played really well with the team today.
Very much so. PZD